His music is witty, soulful, and ferociously energetic, brimming with novel harmonic turnarounds, committed vocals, and simply astonishing guitar work. These are not my words, as they have many syllables. These are actually the words of musicologist Robert Palmer describing Lee Baker Jr., known professionally as Lonnie Brooks. Today on the Sam T. Blues Review, we take a look at Lonnie Brooks' long career, and I'll be joined by Brooks' son, Wayne Baker Brooks, a little later on. Brooks has become a staple of Chicago blues, and even in his later years was a staple at many Chicago blues concerts. But Brooks actually was born in Louisiana, born in the southern United States. He learned the blues from his grandfather, who played the banjo, but he really didn't think music was a viable career. Not until he moved to Texas when he was about 18 or 19. It was then he heard the great Texas bluesmen T-Bone Walker, Clarence Gatemouth Brown, and Long John Hunter. He would record years later with these guys on the song Alligators Around My Door. Let's hear a little of that.
Down in Bayou Country, gators grow big as a man. Down in Bayou Country, gators grow big as a man. They'll steal your woman from you, and they'll leave you cold in hand.
Hey, Long John, you sure that was an alligator?
I looked out my window, big old alligator slipping around my house. Hey, I looked out my window, big old alligator slipping around my house. I asked my woman what was going on, and she swore that she didn't know what it was all about.
You know, I went to New Orleans and I saw a man in an alligator suit.
Look like these alligators want my baby, and I swear that's a natural fact. Hey, look like these alligators want my baby, and I swear that's a natural fact.
Hearing all these great blues artists in Texas, a young Lonnie Brooks decided, hey, if these folks can do it, so can I. But he wasn't Lonnie Brooks just yet, I should make that clear. Lee Baker was going by the name of Guitar Jr. when he started recording for the Gold Band label in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Some of his early hits included Family Rules, which has become a sort of a staple of swamp pop, and this song, The Crawl.
Brand new dance they call a crawl. East to west, north to south. A brand new dance the people shout about they call a crawl. Oh, crawl. The cats on the corner, everybody doing the crawl. Well, Kenny got Jenny, Bobby got Barbara, I got Shelly. Everybody got the girl, we doing the crawl. Oh, crawl. The cats on the corner, everybody doing the crawl. Let your hips shake to the left, a little to the right, wiggle in the middle, then you in the light, and then you crawl. Oh, crawl. The cats on the corner, everybody doing the crawl. Shake to the left, a little to the right, wiggle in the middle, then you in the light, and then you crawl. Oh, crawl. The cats on the corner, everybody doing the crawl. Family, family, family rules. Mother and my father told me that I was too young. Well, I know I need her, and she is the one. Sweetly, sweetly, angel child. Family, family rules. How they can be so cruel. Well, I always want to get married. Day that I burn his home. Sweetly, sweetly, angel child.
By Guitar Jr., who would later change his name to Lonnie Brooks. He did this after he moved to Chicago and found out there was already a guitar junior by the name of Luther Johnson. Brooks found minimal success in the Chicago circuit, primarily performing outside of Chicago in nearby Gary, Indiana and East Chicago, Indiana. He recorded for various albums including Chess, Mercury, Midas, and USA. So at the time, he's 27, 28 years old. Not really a household name, but he did back many household names, including Jimmy Reed. From 1962, we're going to hear Lonnie Brooks with Jimmy Reed performing Aw Shucks, Hush Your Mouth.
Aw shucks, hush your mouth. Baby, you knocking me out. I said shucks, hush your mouth. Baby, you knocking me out. You my kind of woman, you know what it's all about. When you say the sweet thing, the ring all in my ears, yeah. When you say the sweet thing, the ring all in my ears, you got me on the run, and honey, I can't say. Hush, hush, shut your mouth. Baby, you knocking me out. Oh, hush, hush, shut your mouth. Baby, you knocking me out. All the good in me, you know you banging it out.
So you can somewhat hear Lonnie Brooks' guitar alongside Jimmy Reed in that tune, Aw Shucks, Hush Your Mouth. But Brooks didn't really get a chance to shine until about 1969. Hey, that rhymed. Brooks recorded his first full-length studio album at that time, and it was called Broke and Hungry. Here's the title track off that album, Broke and Hungry. It's Lonnie Brooks.
Broke and I'm hungry, rotten and I'm dirty too. Broke and I'm hungry, rotten and I'm dirty too. Well, I ain't got no money, and all my friends have put me down too. Can't find no job, can't pay my rent and board. Can't find no job, can't pay my rent and board. And my woman, she done quit me, and I ain't got no place to go. me somehow. But that's alright. Oh, I'll get along somehow. Just like the old saying, you can make it if you try.
Here's another one, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody, he walked up in there one night, and boy, and he just parted up a stone off of my money. And this was him.
Shakin' Little Mama by the great Lonnie Brooks. The man was born in Louisiana, mentored by Texas bluesmen, and made a name for himself in the Windy City. Brooks was an incredible guitar player whose influence starts in Chicago but spreads worldwide. In 1974, Brooks toured Europe with some other blues artists and recorded the album Sweet Home Chicago on the French label Black and Blue. Here it is now, Sweet Home Chicago.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, Sweet Home Chicago? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Oh, come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, Sweet Home Chicago? 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4. Way that I love you, baby, you never know. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, Sweet Home Chicago? 3 and 3 is 6. 6 and 3 is 9. You give me some of yours, I'll give you some of mine. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, sweet home Chicago?
Lonnie Brooks Blues Band with Move Over Little Dog. That was off of the 1978 album Living Chicago Blues, which featured, are you ready for this, folks, living Chicago blues musicians. The album was produced by Alligator Records' Bruce Iglauer, who had seen Brooks perform at various clubs on the west side of Chicago, and the following year, Iglauer offered Brooks a contract with Alligator, and then he released Bayou Lightning.
Yeah, baby, I wouldn't leave you if I could. 'Cause your real loving, baby, sure makes a man feel good. That's why I beg you, please, don't you leave. You know what my body needs. Wasn't figure all my money, but she can lay that good loving down. The girl I love makes my life a wreck. She measure her love by my paycheck. I'll tell you, she's the biggest figurehead in town. Wasn't big as all my money, but she can lay that good loving down. My bring home pay comes to 69. She measure her love by dollar sign. I'll tell you, she's the biggest figurehead in town. Wasn't big as all my money, but she can lay that good loving down. Is this the way she count my money? One and one is two. Baby, I love you. Two and two is four. I never let you go. Six and three is nine. I give her what she wants, but I have to pay for mine, my girl. The biggest figurehead in town. Was it big as all my money, but she laid that good loving down.
Figurehead off of Lonnie Brooks' 1978 album Bayou Lightning, his first of many albums for Alligator Records. He would be one of the most famous and most prolific bluesmen to record for Alligator in Chicago, and he released 7 albums for the label in total and accompanied many other artists on their records. So while Lonnie Brooks was certainly a Chicago blues icon at this point, he never forgot his roots. Growing up in Louisiana and Texas, Brooks was fond of country music. He even put down a little country tune as Guitar Jr. back in the day called Pick Me Up on Your Way Down.
You were mine just for a while. Now you put me on a star, and you never once look back at your home across the track. You the gossip of the town, but my heart can still be found where you toss it on the ground. Pick me up on your way down. Pick me up on
And it was in 1980 that Lonnie Brooks would make his first appearance on the TV show Hee Haw. That's right, you can hear that performance behind me. It's Lonnie Brooks jamming with the great Roy Clark. So this giant of blues music is playing country music on Hee Haw. He cites Texas blues artists as his greatest influence. Born in Louisiana, made a name for himself in Chicago. Certainly there has to be another genre we can call it, because he's not straight Chicago blues. He's, kind of electric blues. And he has, this sort of swampy stuff going on. So how about we call it Voodoo Blues, electric Voodoo Blues. I'm saying this as if I just thought of it. That was established in the 70s. Brooks took that Louisiana swamp pop, classic rhythm and blues, Chicago blues, and his own style, rolled it all into one, and we're going to call it Electric Voodoo Blues. And man, does that sound good.
What you do to me, I'm gonna do it right back to you. What you do to me, better make sure it's something that you like. True said you was high as you can be, kissing another fella, and you know that wasn't me. That ain't right, baby, no, 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 that ain't right. What goes on in the dark, baby, soon come to light. They said you was whispering low, spending all my dough. You told her I'm a fella man, but you never told me before. That ain't right, baby. No, 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 that ain't right. What goes on in the dark, baby, soon come to light.
In the Dark. Before that, Trading Post, both live recordings from Lonnie Brooks. He would do a ton of touring and live concerts during the 1980s. He even performed at the Maintenance Shop in Ames, where his son Wayne Baker Brooks will be performing this weekend. We're going to get into that in a little bit. A couple things of note here in the 80s with Lonnie Brooks. He performed an hour-long concert on German television in 1982, and the year later, 1983, he released Hot Shot, and here's one of the songs off of that album, that great album. It's Don't Take Advantage of Me.
Don't take advantage of me, 'cause I'm good to you. Don't take advantage of me, 'cause I'm good to you. I'm just another man, I'm hooked on you. Tell me, baby, what the hell you gonna do? I wanna know. I got to know. I wanna know. I gotta know. Don't think I'm weak, 'cause I'm sweet to you. Don't think I'm weak, 'cause I'm sweet to you. If I'm another man in another time, I beat that stuff right out of your mind. Sure enough, I would. Sure enough. Sure enough, I would. Sure enough. Don't think I'm crazy, 'cause I do what I do. Don't think I'm crazy, 'cause I do what I do. If I'm another man in another place, I throw that stuff right back in your face. Sure enough, I would. Oh yes. Sure enough, I would. Oh yeah. Sure enough. Oh yeah. Sure enough, I would. Sure enough, babe.
Don't Take Advantage of Me by Lonnie Brooks off of the album Hot Shot, released in 1983. The next album right after that, Wound Up Tight, featured the great Johnny Winter on guitar, who cites Brooks as a huge influence in his own work. This album garnered the attention of Rolling Stone magazine, who ran a 6-page feature on Brooks, and in 1987 he did another live performance, this time for BBC Radio, and it was also around this time that he started touring with his oldest son, Ronnie Baker Brooks. From 1991, here's Lonnie alongside Ronnie with Like Father, Like Son.
Let me tell you about this boy of mine. When my son was only 9 years old, he wouldn't act right, say me so. Staying out late, cutting school, chasing girls and acting the fool. I tell you, son, you better try that right. You be staying home every night. He said, Daddy, I'm just doing what you've done. And I hate to admit it, age of 21, he said,
Daddy, I'm just doing what you've done.
and I hate to admit it, like father, like son.
Play your guitar for me, Daddy.
Now show me what you can do, son. I tell you it's tough to try to raise a kid when you can't say do like I did.
Grandma told me that you was wild ever since you was a baby child.
How can I tell him to learn a trade when I was crazy at his age?
Daddy, you can't call me bad, 'cause everything I learned from my dad. Daddy, I'm just doing what you've done.
I hate to admit it, like father, like son. Now my boy is almost grown, out of the house and he on his own, playing the blues like his old man, and he's damn near good as I am. It seems like that boy gonna turn out fine. I can't believe he's a son of mine.
Daddy, I'm just doing what you've done.
And I hate to admit it, like father, like son.
Come on, Dad.
Now you playing like I taught you, son.
Like Father, Like Son off of Satisfaction Guaranteed. That was performed by Lonnie Brooks with his son Ronnie Baker Brooks. And in a few years, Lonnie's other son Wayne would catch up with his big brother and start recording his own music. Wayne will join me a little bit later on in the show, but right now we're going to hear another track from the man himself, Lonnie Brooks. It's Backbone Man.
If you need some help, ain't another good man left. Need love and care, you can find some here. I can be your right hand man, babe, I do anything, baby. You need a backbone man. get tired of being alone, I'm the one to call on. No more lonely nights, babe, I treat you right. I can be your handyman, babe, I do anything, baby. I'm your backbone man. Backbone man. I'll be your backbone man. Backbone man. Girl, I do anything. I can be your handyman. Babe, I do anything. Baby, I'm your backbone man.
Backbone Man from Lonnie Brooks. That was recorded for Roadhouse Rules, which was produced by Memphis's own Jim Gaines, who produced great artists such as Stevie Ray Vaughan, Luther Allison, and even Santana. So Brooks continued to tour after this album, which was released in '96. He continued touring until his death in 2017, but before his passing, he got to record with his idols, Long John Hunter and Philip Walker. He also appeared in Blues Brothers 2000 in B.B. King's All-Star Blues Band, which was probably the highlight of the movie. If anything, just fast forward just to that concert, right at the end, right when the end credits are rolling. That's all you need to see of this movie. But it was after Blues Brothers 2000 that Lonnie got to tour with both of his sons. That's right, Ronnie and Wayne. He got to tour with both of them in the U.S. and all over Europe. And now Wayne Baker Brooks is holding that torch for his father with his own unique style, and I'm going to talk to Wayne right after this. We're going to hear one more from Lonnie. It's Too Little, Too Late on the Sam T. Blues Revue.
Oh, again, baby, and you've been out all night, but you got to just in time. Oh, to help me say goodbye. My mind is made up, and I swear today, this time my heart, oh, won't get in the way. I don't doubt that you're sorry for one moment. Now you see the air of your way, and it is, there's a nice touch sliding down your face, but it's too little, too late. Grab your hat and coat, and while you're talking, you can call a cab. Oh, start out walking. My advice is simple: find another fool somehow. 'Cause all the deals are trying, oh, won't change my mind now. I don't doubt that you're sorry for one moment. Now you see the air of your way, and it is, there's a nice touch sliding down your face, but it's too little,
You're listening to the Sam T. Blues Revue here on 97.7 The Bolt. And right now I'm joined by someone who's going to be opening for Wayne Baker Brooks at the Maintenance Shop in Ames. That is this Saturday, showtime at 8 o'clock. And that is Iowa's very own Rob Lumbard. Rob, how are you doing today?
Doing fine. How you doing, Sam?
I'm excellent. Thanks for asking. So I know you've been playing the blues in Iowa for quite some time. And I just wanted to mention I'm from Chicago, so when I moved out here last year, I was a little worried. I had no idea there was such a huge blues scene out here, like especially when you talk about like Des Moines and like that whole Central Iowa Blues Society. That just kind of blew my mind moving out here. Do you remember when you first kind of got into the blues?
Yeah, I was probably about 14 years old, and I was playing in a band called the Circus Boogie Band. So 3 or 4 of us friends got together, put together a band. I had long blonde hair. I suppose I was in 9th grade, and we were playing. I was lead singer and a harmonica player, along with my braces and my teeth, singing, trying to convincingly sing Sonny Boy Williamson tunes, Robert Johnson, things that John Mayall and Eric Clapton, those guys covered. We were very much into Cat Mother, the All Night Newsboys, Humble Pie, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Rock that was influenced by blues, but we really loved Robert Johnson. So that was the beginning of it. And Robert Johnson, for a lot of people back then, the late 60s, early 70s, that was the gateway drug into other blues.
Oh, you're right.
And the Rolling Stones were pushed that real hard too for us, reading the album covers and finding out where they were finding their songs from. So that got me into Hot Tuna and Jorma Kekkonen. That turned me on to, and those were guys out of Jefferson Airplane.
Oh, okay.
That got me into Piedmont playing, and Reverend Gary Davis, John Hurt, he was a Mississippi guy, but still fingerstyle kind of thing, ragtime thing. And I've been a fingerstyle ragtime player for the rest of my life, really. Although I play different genres of music, as you need to do if you're going to be a full-time musician in the Des Moines area.
Right.
But I've been a fingerstyle player, and that's where my style playing comes from.
Yeah. So when did you kind of decide that you were going to take blues seriously as a career?
That's real hard to say. But probably when I was about 19 or 20 years old,
okay.
I pretty much settled on being a musician for a lot of reasons. One was I've always been real independent, and I didn't, although I got through school, I didn't do a good job at it, and always hated school, hated working for other people.
Yeah.
So I could do this on my own, pretty much set my own hours and behave the way I wanted to, which was not always good. But I was pretty much on my own. I like that. And I know I always had bigger dreams than I did a brain. And I thought I could, I thought I could really be somebody, which I never was. But I've done okay for a little musician in Des Moines, Iowa.
I mean, I'm just reading your bio and hearing your music. You've obviously done very well.
I've been real lucky.
Yeah.
Des Moines has been very good to me.
You mentioned Piedmont blues, and I know besides just playing it, I saw that you guest lectured on specifically the topic of that Piedmont blues style. Talked about it a little bit, but can you kind of go in detail of, what about Piedmont kind of draws you to it, specifically that kind of region of blues music?
The thing that drew me to it first was I was walking through a park one day, as the song goes, and I heard a guitar player sitting down and playing acoustic guitar by himself and sounding like 2 or 3 guitar players at once to my ears. And that drew me to it immediately. That was something nobody else was covering in the Des Moines area, and he was doing it on his own, and it was blues, but it had more chords in it and a more interesting structure than a lot of the Robert Johnson Delta things I was listening to. That drew me to it. I was sold immediately. Threw my flat pick away and started finger picking. Now Piedmont style is reminiscent of ragtime piano,
right?
And also what you might call vaudeville tunes, the early Bessie Smith and early blues stuff that was on the vaudeville circuit. The thumb of the picking finger really behaves as if it's the left hand of a piano player. And then the first two fingers, or maybe only your first finger, behave as if it's the right hand of the piano player. So you've got a bass line going with a thumb that is hopefully sounding a bit independent of what the finger is doing. The finger's doing lead line or an accompaniment.
I really like the way you put that, because a few months ago I did a whole show on Piedmont Blues, but I'm not a guitar player, so it was kind of hard for me to kind of understand it and then also explain it. So I like the way you put that with the fingers. That makes sense to me.
And when I first heard it, it boggled my brain. I mean, I've wrapped my head around it now, but when I first heard it, I thought, God, it's so fun to hear, but so intellectually interesting that I got to learn how to do this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a gateway drug to early. From there, you go on to early jazz tunes.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's pretty much endless.
It is. Then you go on to early jazz tunes, which goes into later jazz tunes, which goes on to bebop. And I'm not going into bebop, pretty much.
I know what you're saying. So I was reading, you opened for some pretty big names. Lyle Lovett, the band, Leon Redbone, and then I saw you opened for one of my absolute favorites, who we lost not too long ago, Dr. John. When was that?
That may have been about 8 years ago, something like that. He played at the Valor Ballroom here.
Oh, okay.
I opened up for him, and as did What's Her Face and the Red Hots, another local band. And when I open up for these people, I pretty much stay away from them. I don't try to meet them or cozy up to them. I give them their space. If they look as though they're open to it, then I'll talk to them. But I didn't hang with Dr. John or anything like that. I did. Lyle Lovett was really nice to me, and got to hang with him a little bit. And some of the other guys, I had to meet when I opened up for Dan Hicks. I had to shake his hand. He's been one of my heroes forever. He was doing a thing then when I opened up for him called the Acoustic Warriors.
I sit and watch the grass grow as I'm thinking of you. Why do I do that with some other guys too? Got to clean out my cobweb. I think I'll shoot my shot. 8 ball in the corner pocket. That's what I've got. I'm shooting straight. Oh, that's great. I'm shooting straight. You mark this day.
And then you are going to be opening for Wayne Baker Brooks, like I mentioned. Have you worked with him before?
I have not worked with him, but my only connection with him. Let's see, I've been on the same show as Ronnie Baker Brooks.
Oh, okay.
And I used to see their dad, Lonnie Brooks, when he played at a bar down here in Des Moines called So Is Your Mother's, back in the 70s. Guys from Chicago, like Willie Dixon, Kerry Bell, Lonnie Brooks, Luther Allison, all these great guys. They would Matt Murphy.
Yeah.
All these great people would do a circuit kind of playing Iowa City, then Des Moines, then Omaha, Lincoln, Nebraska, and around. So, man, you could see, during the week, you could see Willie Dixon and his All-Stars, Lonnie Brooks, Mighty Joe Young, all these great guys that were, and so I got to sit in with Sonny Cherry and Brian McGee one night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, God, that was the highlight of my life.
Oh, I can imagine. Like I said, I'm just very excited to hear you open for Wayne Baker Brooks. I'm excited to see both of you guys perform. That is at the Maintenance Shop in Ames. Rob, thank you so much for talking with me.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for calling.
No problem at all. You have a good one.
Bye-bye.
One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. Name is bartender, listening, no control. Drinking here, one scotch, one bourbon, one beer. I want no soda, no one but gum. You got what I need, please bring me some. A woman done left, now I'm at a loss. I'm on this trip and I can't get off. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer.
Hello and welcome back to the Sam T. Blues Revue here on 97.7 The Bolt. Joining me now, an incredibly gifted guitarist and a Chicago blues icon, Mr. Wayne Baker Brooks. He will be performing this Saturday at the Maintenance Shop in Ames. Wayne, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm totally looking forward to playing at the Maintenance Shop, man.
Yeah, I'm excited too. before we get into this, I just wanted to touch a little bit on your father's influence. I grew up right outside of Chicago, and your dad was always a favorite of mine. And my friend, his name's Lonnie. He was actually named after your father.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's also sort of made it a mission to collect all of his records. I don't know what he's at yet. I know every time I go around with him, he's always looking for more Lonnie Brooks records.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
Man, that just touched me, man.
Did it? Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, although, I sound surprised, but I'm not surprised, man, because my dad, he touched a lot of people through his music.
Absolutely.
And not only through his music, he touched a lot of people, as a person, man. People know exactly who it is. He lightened that room up with his big old smile. He made an impression on a lot of people, man, musically and non-musically.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. Another quick story. My dad met your father as well, and my dad was managing an Olive Garden at the time, and my dad's a huge fan, so he, talked to him real quick. He got him to sign a, the breadstick to-go bag.
Yeah.
But your dad he made time for him. It wasn't an imposition or anything, even though he was out having dinner. He enjoyed talking with my dad, and that's a story my dad always likes to share as well.
Yeah, he loved to talk. He got tons of stories, growing up in Louisiana and, born in 1933 during the Depression.
Right.
He has tons of stories.
Oh, I can imagine.
He had tons of stories. And I still, remember just, like 50% of the stories that he would tell, on the road or, backstage or at home or, he's a good storyteller, man, and it showed through his music as well.
Yeah, you're right on that. Obviously, now you have an appreciation for your dad's music, and you've seen, him touching all these people. But, when you were a kid, when you're growing up, did you kind of see that, or was he just your dad?
He was just dad up until, 1977. He was just dad, with the guitar,
Right.
I would see him, he'd say, I'm going to work, or he'll be writing songs. I mean, literally, man, he would, I would come home from school, and he would be there writing songs. Sit down on the chair with his guitar and his reel-to-reel, and through while we're doing homework, he'd be doing writing songs. At dinner time, he would be writing songs. He would stop to have dinner.
Wow.
His dinner's over with. He'd get right back to writing songs. Man, I would wake up in the middle of the night to go use the bathroom, and he's still writing songs. And I wake up to go to school, and he's still there writing songs, man. I come back from school, and he's right there writing songs.
That's funny.
And that's how I remember him. Before 1977, he brought the whole family down to see him perform at the Chicago Fest with his band, Coco Taylor, Willie Dixon, Son Seals,
Wow.
Michael Young, Muddy Waters. When he started to play, and all of those, I would say probably 8,000 to 10,000 people was reaching at him at the edge of the stage. I was like, whoa, that's my daddy. I was like, wow, I had no clue until then.
Wow.
And that's when I was like, okay, I started bringing his records to school. I was like that kid that the teacher would let me DJ. And when the kids were good, I would, bring records and I would play my dad's records, which my favorite one was Value Lightning.
Yeah, mine too. That's a good one.
Pretty much, Ronnie and I, my brother Ronnie, and I helped him do a lot of the demos at home. So we, at the age of 6 years old, I would help him, write songs, playing on, boxes and pots and pans, knives and spoons. And most of that stuff ended up on Value Lightning. So I was very proud of that record, not only because it was my dad making, a really, really good record, but, no one knew that, and I never told anybody that we helped him write the demos of those. And so I would bring these records, and I would play Value Lightning, and I would play Sugar Hill Gang, the very first rap record
Right.
ever. And the kids would go crazy over both of them. And it was just the same. It was like, okay, this was a popular song, you know, the Sugar Hill Gang, Rappers Delight, and here's a blues song, and they both reacted the same way, man.
I'm in love with a Louisiana girl, but her daddy just don't agree. We're planning to get married, but that's something he just can't see. If I keep messing with his daughter, he's gonna put a spell on me. I put a dead rooster on my porch, a noose hanging from the concrete. Big black snake in my bed, Hoover does where I lay my head. If I keep messing with his daughter, might find myself dead. Voodoo, man. He studied witchcraft, all that kind of stuff. And look, he put a big black snake in my bed. He put that Hoover dust where I lay my head. He even put a dead rooster on my porch. He even had a noose hanging from the corner tree. I don't care what he do. I'm gonna get that high.
I mean, I would assume you never really wanted to do anything else other than music, right? Was there ever another career path for you?
I thought I was going to be the next Michael Jordan out of Chicago.
I think everybody in Chicago thought they were going to be the next Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he was a big inspiration as well, you know, outside of music. You know, for just about everyone in the black community, man.
Yeah.
Every young kid that tried to play basketball. God always have a plan for you that you don't know anything about.
Mm-hmm.
And although I was surrounded by the music and everything, I had no idea that that's what I would be doing. I thought I was going to be the next Michael Jordan, and I was doing really good. And then I broke my ankle.
Mm.
And then, I recovered, and then I broke my ankle again.
Ah.
And that was just God's plan for me. It's like, man, basketball is not for you. Music is for you. You need to go out and help people forget what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need you to do. And I took that. I embraced it, and I feel like that's why I'm on this earth, man.
How can I tell you what I got to say? I found me another woman, yeah. She went and took your place. It's been a long time, but I feel I got to move, yeah. It's time to put you down, woman. It's your turn to talk to the blues. It's your turn to talk to the blues. I know you've been there. I can always count on you. But 11 fill my heart up, babe. Ain't no room for two. That's the way life goes. Somebody's got to lose, yeah. I'm on a winning end, babe. It's your turn to talk to the blues. It's your turn to talk to the blues. That's all I got to tell you. That's all I got to say. I hear you screaming, baby, baby. You'll be back someday. Until that day comes, it's a life I'm gonna choose, yeah. I got the winning hand, babe. It's your turn to talk to the blues. It's your turn to talk to the blues.
Obviously, your dad is an influence in your work, but when you're deciding, after all that happened, you realize basketball wasn't really working out. When you're deciding you want to make a serious career in music, who are the other kind of artists you were kind of listening to or kind of getting inspired by?
Well, Dad would, again, at that Chicago Fest the following year, I think it was the following year or maybe the same year, we went to go see, he went to go see, he just tagged, I was just tagging along.
Mm-hmm.
He went to go see Muddy and Johnny Winter because Johnny Winter looked at my dad as a guitar hero.
Right.
Johnny Winter and his brother Edgar Winter. And all the Texas guys, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy Vaughan calls him his hero, Billy Gibbons, all of these Texas guys, love Guitar Jr., who is Lonnie Brooks. So he took us to go see Muddy Waters, and Muddy actually put his hands on my head and was like, "Hey, you got a nice head to hair." And that voice was so resonant and it felt so anointed.
Yeah.
That I was like, "Whoa, who is this, Dad?" He's like, "Man, that's the great Muddy Waters." And of course, I started listening to all the Muddy Waters records over.
Right.
After that. I started really listening to it at the age of like 6 and 7. We would play the hell out of that record, and it started with him, Muddy Waters. Then of course he would do gigs, with Coco Taylor, Luther Allison, and Junior Wells, and cats like that. But B.B. King and Buddy Guy, I'll never forget. Buddy Guy, Coco Taylor, and Junior Wells was opening up for my dad, for the mayor of Chicago, which was Harold Washington at the time. And I'll never forget, man, walking through the halls while Buddy Guy and Junior Wells was performing. And I didn't see who was playing. I just heard the guitar. And I was like, Daddy, who is that? Like that. And he go, man, that's Buddy Guy. And I go, ooh, Daddy, I like him. And then he goes, well, you don't like my stuff? You don't like me? And I go, Daddy, I love you, but I like him. Like
That's
that.
Funny.
And he's been not only an inspiration, but like a mentor to me.
Yeah.
He always gives me good advice. Buddy Guy, as a, grown man, getting older and actually meeting him and speaking with him and talking to him. People like Buddy Guy, long story short, Buddy Guy, Luther Allison, Coco Taylor was a huge inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
Although, she was a female singer, I still felt the passion and the growl that she had. And, these people live their music, and I got a chance, to tour with them, tour with BB, same thing as Buddy, mentor. Those are the main ones, man. Luther Allison. Luther Allison left me a guitar in his will.
Oh, really?
And yeah, man, that was an unexpected blessing. And it's a beautiful guitar too, man. I stopped taking it out on the road because I was afraid something might happen to it, and I didn't want that to happen to it. But I still have it. This was in the 90s when he passed away, and I still have that guitar, and I still cherish it.
Wow. Yeah, he was one of the best, absolutely.
Yeah, Sun Seals, another inspiration. Mostly the people that, that I met personally and toured with. I mean, like Junior Wells. We did a tour with B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Junior Wells, Eric Johnson, Coco Taylor, and we were in the bus with Junior Wells. And I'm, playing my guitar that I just got, and I was playing Messing with the Kid, which is one of his hit records. And then, I was playing it, and then he go, where'd you learn how to play that? I go, listening to the records, I learned it from Buddy, listening to Buddy on the records. He said, you playing it wrong. He said, give me the guitar. So he showed me how to play Messing with the Kid, and he gave me the guitar back, and he said, now play it. And I played the exact same thing that I learned. And he said, now you got it. Just
really
because
funny.
he showed it,
Yeah.
Stuff like that, man. You can't buy that.
No, absolutely not.
What this the hell going on around town? The people said you're gonna put the kid down. Oh, no. Oh, look at what you did. You can call it what you want. I call it messing with the kid. You know the kid's no child, and I don't play. I sure is what I mean, and I mean what I say. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at what you did. You can call it what you wanna. I call it messing with the kid.
You co-wrote Blues for Dummies, so you do kind of give people kind of the basics of what they need to know for blues music, and that was in 1998. So I was wondering, yeah. So it's been about 21 years or so. Within that time, I'm sure you've seen the blues change quite a bit, and I'm sure you've seen a lot happen. So knowing what you know now after 20 years of playing, is there anything that you would add to that book?
Oh, man. so much has changed. First of all, I want to say that, again, Muddy Waters inspired me to do this book. The book was thought heavily about during 1996. We performed the Blues Fest or the Chicago Blues Fest, or we had that weekend off. And this was like the first weekend that we had off in like 7 years. And I was able to attend the Chicago Blues Fest because we're usually all over the globe and somewhere else if we're not playing the Chicago Blues Fest. So at this time, they brought Muddy Waters' house from the Stovall Plantation down in Mississippi, and they brought it to Chicago. And here I am in this man's little shack where 16 people live, and they have all the artifacts. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of the artifacts. They had like videos playing, music playing, and I'm like, man, this is where this man was born. This is where he worked. This is where, he made, music, and then this is where he branched away. And then I got angry. That here's this icon that we have to uproot his house and put it on display just to show people. But they would never do that with Elvis Presley's house. People actually come to his house and pay homage and camp and live and they a pilgrimage to his house. And I said, man, people should do the same thing with Muddy Waters. This is one way that I would try. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna write a book. And the next day, I woke up, and I was hanging out with some friends. And I just jokingly said, you know what, man, because I was being really, really serious about it, and you can feel the angriness in the air. And to lighten it up, because that's who I am, I like to have people have fun, but this was a serious thing that I really felt passionate about. I lightened it up. I said, man, I'm going to mess around and write the book Blues for Dummies. And everybody laughed. They just laughed like, one of my friends looked at another friend and said, you really want to write that book? I said, yeah. And she looked at her friend again, and she said, well, she is an editor at the IDG Books, which do the For Dummies books. I said, get out of here.
Oh, wow.
And she said, yes. And she felt the passion that I was having about this situation. And she said, you need to write this book. You got to write it.
Yeah.
So it was Muddy Waters. So I sought out a music historian, and they wanted me to find a legend, that could, verify everything as well. And I said, I know one. And it just took off from there. I found Cub Coda, who was from Brownsville Station, but he was a music historian as well. And I went to my dad like 3 times, man, and he turned me down. And I said, well, Dad, just go look at any bookstore, and you will see, the For Dummies book everywhere. And him and my mom went shopping one time, and they just walked into a store and they saw, books, and they came home. And I said, Dad, did you see the books? He said, yeah, I saw them. He said, I saw the Beer for Dummies. I saw the Law for Dummies. They even had Sex for Dummies. I said, so they were everywhere. You saw them? He was like, yeah, they were everywhere. I said, you gonna do it? He said, nope. So I'm like, Dad, I talked with B.B. King, I talked with Robert Craig, I talked with John Lee Hooker, and they all said they would be glad to do this book with me. I said, you sure you don't want to do this? And he said, wait a minute. He said, did B.B. King say he'll do it with you? I said, he sure did. You can ask him. He said, that's all right. I'll do it. So I kind of used peer pressure to get my dad to do it, because I thought he deserved the recognition.
Of course.
Because, they were generating over like $300 million a year just off of the For Dummies book. So they had the money to push, and they wanted to push blues as hard as they possibly could. That helped out tremendously, man. So things that I would change in there is because a lot of the, where to go see the blues, where to go hear the blues, has changed over the years. And I would say, where to go hear the blues, because a lot of festivals are not around that used to be around. A lot of clubs have closed that used to be, around then. Maintenance Shop was around then, and I'm glad Maintenance Shop's still around.
There you go.
And, just like the internet stuff has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the URLs are completely different and a lot more neater nowadays than it was back then. The internet was just ballooning then,
mm-hmm.
and it was a new way to, find blues and hear blues. And that's what I would change.
Okay.
I would update all of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the basics of the blues and all the people you talk about, is there anybody else you would add maybe that have done really well in the past 20 years or so?
Yeah, well, I would add Gary Clark Jr., man. He's killing it right now.
Oh, he absolutely is.
Yeah, he's definitely killing it right now. A lot of the names changed. A lot of the names remain. Some come, some go, but,
right.
There are some that would still be around. And I tell you what, most of the people that we did put in the book are still around.
That's right.
Or, their legend is still around, and really, really proud of that book. I would love to do another one.
I can tell you I don't care. I can tell you I'm no good. I can tell you I'm not in love. But I know you're not a fool. You got me feeling like Superman, 'cause I'm way up in the air. To tell you the truth now, baby, it's all because of you. I can say you're not patient. I can say you don't care at all. But there's no comparison, 'cause your love won't let me fall. You make my life complete, babe. Blindsided by your cool. To tell you the truth now, baby, it's all because of you.
I'm glad that you put it into perspective like that. Like when you were talking about Graceland, how there's, all these things for, all these other artists. And it actually reminded me of when I was in Memphis, like 5 or 6 years ago, and I saw there was just this old house and it said home of Memphis Slim. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But it was just falling apart, and it was like, under renovation. I went back to Memphis the next year, under renovation. I went last year, and it was just bulldozed. So it's like there's so many homes, there's so many pieces of blues history that we're losing. So I think it's awesome that you, worked with Cub Coda and your dad, and you put this book together to have this comprehensive guide. So I think that's really, really cool that you did that.
Yeah, I just wanted to, and I mean, this book wasn't for those who already know the blues. You have people who are experts and people who are expert fans that know what they like and know where to go get it. But this was more of like for one, I used to date a young lady, and we were driving in the car, and John Lee Hooker was on the radio, and he did that, that signature how, and the young lady said, "Oh, he's trying to sound like ZZ Top," and I said, "What?"
You let her out of the car right then and there, right?
I wanted to, but I'm too much of a gentleman for that, but. I said, what? Are you kidding me? I said, no. They got that from him.
Yep.
That's the target demographic that I was trying to reach.
Gotcha.
Those who have heard it and like it, but don't know who are the players.
Mm-hmm.
And if she knew who John Lee Hooker was, she wouldn't have said that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
So that was the target audience that I was reaching with that book, and a lot of the people that do know a lot about blues actually use it to teach, use it as a reference guide, use it when they're putting together or producing or promoting their festival, and a certain artist is performing, they would go, get the bio out of there, and
there you go.
So it was very, very useful, and I'm so proud of it.
Well, here it's fine.
Wayne, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Really do appreciate taking time out of your day to talk with me.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. I'm so looking forward to playing Maintenance Shop, man. There's a lot of history there, a lot of blues history.
You been there before?
Absolutely. Remember performing there with my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Wow.
I think in the late 80s, early 90s. And then we would see the blues video that they would shoot. Like, you know, Albert King. I remember Albert King video, watching that over and over and over and over. They used to film blues artists back then. You know, those old memories, man, still stick with me, man. And I'm looking forward to creating new memories, man.
That's great, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. That is Saturday, Maintenance Shop in Ames, 8 o'clock showtime. Wayne, thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Have a good one.
Thanks for keeping the blues alive, too, man.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Right on, brother.
Wise men say you got to learn from your mistake, but you keep on doing the wrong thing anyway. It don't work like that. 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 You got to find you something that will. When you get to work and the boss is watching you, but you're sitting around like you ain't got nothing to do. It don't work like that. 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 You got to find you something that will. Will it work like this, Daddy? That's the way I do it. Now you're 32 years old, got fired from your job. You know you're doing wrong, still living with your mom. It don't work like that. 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 You got to find you something that will. If your woman think you are the man of her dreams, you can't tell her sister she's the finest thing you ever seen. It don't work like that. 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 You got to find you something that will. How about if I do this?
Well, you've been listening to the Sam T. Blues Review here on 97.7 The Bolt. A huge thank you to Wayne Baker Brooks and Rob Lumbard. Be sure to check them out at the Maintenance Shop this Saturday. Showtime is at 8 p.m. I know I'll be there. Should be a fantastic show. Our theme music composed by Little Magic Sam. Our sponsors are Shiny Top Brewing in Fort Dodge and J&M Construction in Bode. As always, I hope you join me next time on the Sam T. Blues Review. Thanks, everybody.
If I get my hands on what my eyes see, my whole mind and body will be trouble-free. I see what I want, know what I need. Baby, please consider me. I wish you would. It'd be good if you could. Oh, baby, come go with me. I'm lonely as a man can be. Seems a glass wall between us. I can look but can't touch. Temptation getting greater. I tell you it's little too much. I see what I want and I know what I need. Baby, please consider me. I wish you would. It'd be good if you could. Baby, come go with me. I'm lonely as a man can be. Please consider me. I know I got to be strong, patiently wait.